Hey, my name is Melissa, and today we're going to be going through a wall-mounted Sundream to install. You can find the install manual on the PERGOLUX app or at www.pergolux.app. Before you get started, you're going to want to make sure you have the outdoor waterproof silicone or caulk needed, as well as the different anchoring bolts for the wall and for the ground. During the installation, you will need a mallet, an Allen wrench kit, a ladder, a tape measure, a level, a ratchet set, a drill, and a set of normal bits. It might also help to have a string line to help with leveling and a right angle tool. The B boxes have the beams, steering rail, and metal covers, plus hardware components. The C boxes are columns, the long corner pieces, and base plates, and the L boxes are louvers. You will also need the electric motor, a control box, an LED kit, and a power cord. For the pergola orientation, if you are facing your pergola with the motor attachments on the back beam, your louvers will open from left to right. There is a little bit of prep work before you start installing. There are pre-installed metal blanking strips in the two tracks of the gutter, on the bottom of each beam and on the inner sides of the columns. Remove the strips from the top track of the gutters, which is where your LEDs will go. You may find that the top strip is already removed. If you would like to install one or more heaters, remove the section from the bottom track of the gutter where you'd like to place your heater. If you'd like to place a screen or a glass wall, you'll remove the strip from the underside of the beam and from the columns where you'll be placing the wall. You can remove by hand, or you can use a tool like a putty knife or an Allen key to remove them. Both of the side beams have a cavity the whole length of the beam, which is usually covered with the pre-installed access panel. Remove one of the access panels and the two long brush strips from the side beam. Slide the brush strips into the top of each access panel. These cover the small gap between louvers and beam. You will place the control box into the side beam without the access panel later on, then close it in. The first step is to attach the base plate to the columns. The three holes on the edge are for the anchoring hardware. The more central large opening is for water drainage, and the smaller opening is for electrical hardwiring. Make sure the countersink holes are facing out. To make it easy, line up the flat corner edge of the base plate with the flat edge on the column. Use the number 6 screws in the B bag for each plate. We recommend using the included lubricant to coat the screws, which will prevent binding and cold welding with the aluminum. Attach both base plates to the two columns. You can screw everything in partially and then tighten everything at the end. Notice there are 2 openings for water drainage on the column, and there will be 1 opening on the corner for electrical wiring. Next, using your mounting bolts, you will fasten the number 8 brackets from the Z bag to the wall at roughly 32-inch intervals. Use 2 screws per bracket. The bottom of the bracket needs to be 92 3/4 inches from the ground. You can use a string line to make sure all brackets are level. Take your wall-mounted back beam and place it over the brackets, then click it down into place. The number 9 brackets from the Z bag can be installed from the left side of the beam, as shown in the manual. Another trick is to simply maneuver these parts under each bracket. Each should line up with each bracket on the wall. Use the number 10 bolts from the Z bag and secure each of the small number 9 parts to the wall-mounted brackets. It doesn't matter what side beam you mount first. For this install video, we will mount the left side. First, secure part number 11 from the X bag to the side beam that will be to the left of the wall-mounted beam using the number 7 screws from bag E. Use the lubricant for the 4 screws. This will create the corner for the wall mount and side beam. Using 4 more screws from bag E, attach one of the columns to the other side of the side beam that will go on the left, remembering to coat them in the grease. Insert the L-shaped bracket number 12 from bag J into the slot in the gutter of that side beam. Then, using 4 more screws from bag E and the grease, you will attach the side beam to the left side of the wall-mounted beam. You will need 2 people for this. Set up a ladder near the wall where you'll be connecting the beams. Repeat those same steps for the other side beam. Attach the short corner piece to the side beam, then the column, insert the L-shaped bracket, then attach the side beam to the wall-mounted beam on the right side. Before mounting the front beam, insert the last two L-shaped brackets from the J-bag into the ends of the front beam. Now you can mount the front beam to the two columns. Carefully guide the L-shaped brackets into the slots on the side beams. Then use 4 E-screws per side to secure it. Make sure the black plastic leaf guard is in place. It should be pre-installed. Congrats, you have your frame in place. Use 4 of the number 13 hex bolts in the J-bag at each corner to secure the beams. These screws are attaching to the L-shaped bracket that you placed before. Place the number 14 corner parts from bag M in the 2 column corners, and then use the number 7 screws from bag Q2 to secure in place. Now slide the silver U-shaped brackets from bag O on top of both column corner pieces and fasten in place with the screws from bag O. Place the number 20 corners from the U bag in the wall-mounted corners. Wait to install number 21 until after the LEDs are installed. Slide the number 15 silver U-shaped brackets from bag O on top of both wall-mounted corner pieces and fasten in place with the number 16 screw from bag O. At this step, you would stop and install your LED lights if you have them. Refer to the LED install video for more details. If you plan on installing your LEDs at a later date, skip the next 2 steps. Now take the number 21 part and place at the corner where the gutters meet. Then take the number 18 corner cover from bag L and place it over the seam in the same corner. This will cover the LED wires if you have those installed, and it will just cover the seam if you do not have LEDs. Secure in place with the number 17 screw from the L bag. Do this for all 4 corners. At this stage, you would use the waterproof sealant or caulk that you bought to seal off the 2 empty holes at each corner. Now it's time to install the motor. To do this, slide the clamp with the countersink holes facing towards you onto the motor arm, and the holes should be on top of the motor. The wire side should be closest to the right side beam. Next, use the bolt and nut from the T-bag to secure the extending arm of the motor to the pre-installed louver arm on the beam. The bolt will be installed from the outside and the nut is on the inside. Then you'll secure and tighten the clamp. The clamp comes with 3 bolts. The longer bolt will be in the middle and the 2 smaller on either side. Tighten those in. Your control box will be labeled PX293 and have 4 holes on the LED wire for RGB LEDs. It will be labeled PX292 and have 2 holes on the LED wire for your warm white LEDs. The control box is designed to sit in the cavity of the side beam to the right of the motor. The power source will come out of the back right corner. Place the control box in the side beam cavity to the right of the motor, upside down so the AC input wire is closest to the corner. Attach the grounding wire to one of the screws already installed. Then, the power cord will be inserted through the beam and hang down the outer channel of the column. It will be covered at the end when you snap the corner pieces on. Now connect the power cord to the control box cable labeled AC input. Connect the motor wire to the DC motor wire on the control box, and connect the LED wire to the LED wire on the control box. Next, take the long, skinny piece number 29 and snap it onto the bottom of the wall-mounted beam. At this point, we recommend testing the control box with the motor, LEDs, and heater. Refer to the control box pairing video for more details. If you haven't inserted the brush strips to the access panels, do so now. Then replace the access panels on both sides. It helps to do this with 2 people. First, hook the top of the access panel to the top of the beam. Once secure, push the panel down and use some force or a mallet to close it. You should hear a click when it is in place. All the wires should go through the notch at the bottom of the access panel. Use adhesive strips and/or tape to hold the wires and control box in place. Now it's time to install your louvers. With the wall-mounted model, it might be easier to attach your steering rail first and then attach your louvers one at a time. I'm going to talk through that method now. Take part 37, which we call the steering rail, and the 3 small bolts from the S bag. The steering rail has a lip on the top that will be facing towards the wall. Attach the steering rail to the hanging bracket by attaching the bolts from the outside. Note that there is one louver with an additional plastic lip. This is the starting louver. You can start by placing that on the right side of the pergola. The louver side with the longer pin will be installed in the slots on the front beam. Install this side first and then secure the other side into the existing plastic notch on the beam. Use the plastic clip from the H-bag to secure the louver pin. A little tip here is to use a tool like a needle nose plier to press those into place easily. Now the fun part, connecting the louver to the steering rail, using the bolts and spacers from bag R. The bolt will be on the outside and the spacer is between the steering rail and the louver. You can tighten these using a drill with a right angle. Continue to install each louver one at a time. Click in the H-clip and then attach the bolt and spacer to the steering rail for each one. Continue to install your louvers until you get to the last 3. You'll insert these a little differently as well. Insert the louver pins first on the front beam side, then instead of clipping them into place on the other side, slide them to the right. Keeping them at a 90-degree angle will help, and then once all 3 louvers are there, slide them one by one to the left and clip them in place. Next, clip in piece 27 along the entire length of the back beam. This will stabilize the louvers. It will hook on the top and then use some maneuvering and muscle to clip it down. Once your louvers are secured, take your long corner pieces, number 41, and snap them into place using a mallet. You'll see the small opening for electrical wiring on each one. Next, you'll take your smaller corner pieces, number 42, and using the parts from the Y bag, you'll place the top and bottom covers on each one before mounting to the wall-mounted corners. The last step is to attach the top covers from the K bag to each of the free-standing corners. At this point, if you have screens, a glass wall, or a wood slat wall, you would install it now. Make sure that your pergola is level with the ground and that the columns are equidistant from top to bottom.
Go.
Congrats, you finished your pergola install. Now you can sit back and relax under your PERGOLUX and enjoy it for years to come. Welcome to the PERGOLUX fam.